Hi everyone. I just want to create a quick video explaining the two questions in Module 2B. I know a lot of you, including myself, were having some difficulties applying what we learned in 2A as well as 2B to those two individual questions. Now, I will go over on how to set up the individual questions. However, I'm not going to solve it all the way. I'm going to leave that to each one of you in order to be compliant with the edX Code of Conduct. Now, the question the question number one is: consider the bias coin that produces heads 70% of the time from the probability calculation in week 2. One tosses the coin twice. Conditioning on what we know both tosses have the same outcome, what is the probability of that both tosses are tails? Now, one of the first things that I like to do is I like to identify some of the variables that are on here, or some of the things that we can write down. Now, we know that one tail equals 30%. So in this biased coin, if you flip a tail, it's only 30% of the time that's going to show up. Also, the given is one head equals 70% as well, 0.7. Additionally, we know from previous activities that two tails equals 0.09 and two heads equals 0.49. So now that we've just written down a few things, or some of the givens, I'm going to write down the formula that once again was given to us in 3A. So it's probability of A given B equals probability of A and B over probability of B. I think one of the most difficult things that I had to do with this individual problem is really identify what is the A and which one is the B. I'll start off with A, which is saying given probability of A given B, or what is the probability of A given B? So in this case, we're trying to figure out right here, what is the probability of both being tails? So this, I'm going to say both are tails. Now we're left with the B part. And from here, we know that two flips are the same. So now we're left with what is the probability of A, which is both are tails, given that two flips are the same. Now, when I plug this into the formula, the first part, we'll start off at the top. Probability of A and B. So we know that the probability of both being tails and two flips are the same is located right here in the given. So we know that's 0.09. Now, this is the part that took me a little time to figure out, because B is then two flips. Two flips are the same. Now, if we take some time and think about that, the two situations that can occur are tail-tail and head-head. And in this case, we need to take both of those instances into consideration for this bottom part. So what I've done is I've actually added together the values for tail-tail and head-head. So tail, tail plus head, head. And luckily, that actually is the answer for the problem. I hope this video was clear, and I hope it did help some of you figure out how to solve question number 1.